The man's lips curled into a smirk as well.
And what is that, young master?
I order you.
Another yank was made, the boy's lips next to Sebastian's ear.
To fuck me senseless. Right here, right now. Even if the whole world sees. I want you, Sebastian. The man could only chuckle as he pulled back to look at the boy's face.
And what would you do if I don't,
He asked teasingly, his smirk only growing.
Ciel turned his smirk into a wicked one, which caught Sebastian a bit by surprise. Ciel's eyes turned into its normal state, one sapphire and one amethyst.
If you don't, then, I guess I'd have to punish you severely.
Oh, really? Tell me, what could a 15-year-old like you know how to do such things?
He asked, knowing of the boy's virginity.
The Ciel he used to know blushed red when they tried to have the talk, but this new Ciel, his reincarnation, was just full of new surprises.
Are you underestimating me, Sebastian? You know, that's bad. That's a bad thing to do with your master. Sebastian was suddenly pushed back by a strong force, falling back onto the grass as Ciel sat on his lap. Bad boys should always get the reward once they turn good, don't they?
His eyes returned to its demonic glow. The heat was rising, and fast. I had imagined your first time differently, young master.
And how is that?
Ciel's lips came to kiss the demon's jaw, trying to find that spot that they'd always talk about in his adult fiction books. Well, to start off, I had imagined it in your bedroom, or even mine. Not where someone could catch a view.
His head turned to the side, giving Ciel more room to kiss on.
A few seconds after that, a raindrop fell on his cheek, followed by another, and another, then many more. Sebastian was about to say something when Ciel had come to kiss him, pulling the other once again, but to stand. The boy wrapped his arms around his neck, and Sebastian lifted him up, wrapping the boy's legs around his waist, his hands below the boy's rear end, as if Ciel were sitting on them.
Sebastian took them up to the first private room he saw, being the master's study. Good choice.
The boy had said, his smirk not yet leaving and his eyes yet to change. He looked at a spot in Sebastian's jaw and bit it just a tad harshly. Little did he know that that was the spot he was looking for in the first place, making the man's eyes glow and letting a groan out.
The door closed by itself as Sebastian was closing them with some other force, candles lighting up all over the room. Eager, aren't we?
Ciel chuckled as he was placed onto the desk. His legs and arms were still wrapped around Sebastian. Well, my lord does know how to play.
Close your eyes.
Ciel ordered. Sebastian happily complied.
Suddenly, he felt a cold metal on his wrist, and something was wrapped around his hand, covering his eyes.
Master?
Head. Oh, don't worry, Sebastian. I'll take very good care of you. I don't bite, most of the time.
His chuckle lowered, making a shiver run down Sebastian's spine with both seduction and excitement.
The butler's tailpiece was being unbuttoned quickly. I swear, I'll rip this if I have to.
Ciel grunted as he somewhat managed to unbutton it, realizing that the handcuffs didn't let it come off. He groaned and began to rip it apart. I could have helped.
The butler chuckled. And what? Let you enjoy seeing the look at me once I see you? I'd rather not. Soon Sebastian's chest was bare, as well-toned abs, his chest raising and lowering from the pain of not being able to see nor touch Ciel.
The boy's hands came to stroke where a heart must be, slowly lowering until they were at the rim of the man's pants.
You see,
Ciel unbuckled Sebastian's pants and pushed him onto the desk, making him fall onto it.
I am very, very desperate man, and I intend to get what I want.
With that, the pants were taken off, followed by the undergarments, revealing his quite breathtaking member. Ciel bit his bottom lip almost adorably. Little did he know that the badly tied blindfold had fallen off. I see that my master approves of this form.
He chuckled, breaking the handcuffs apart.
And to think that you'd be restrained.
And to think you'd be restrained.
Ciel replied, his pants beginning to feel uncomfortably tight. His hips began to sway side to side, making Sebastian's brow arch in curiosity. Young master. The Earl slowly unbuttoned his shirt, a seductive tone between all of his actions. Once he was completely nude, Sebastian was painfully turned on, trying with all his might to not pounce onto him.
I see you approve of this body.
Ciel chuckled in return as he saw a few droplets on Sebastian's member, making him moan. Ciel went to his knees, kissing Sebastian's inner thigh. My lord.
Call me Ciel. I don't want to hear this foul names while we're in this moment like this.
He interrupted, licking up Sebastian's inner thigh, almost reaching the problem in hand. Ciel, please.
The demon begged, made Ciel chuckle. You sound as if you're begging for a treat, my little pup. Tell me, are you oh so desperate for me to do this?
He asked in a low tone that he had discovered, knowing that I'd make a shiver run down the other's spine. Yes, Ciel, please.
He begged once more. The young boy's lips wrapped around the other's member, sending Sebastian to the roof.
How can that boy know how to turn me on so easily?
He asked himself, looking down at the sin he had made between his legs.
Ciel, somehow, knowing what he'd asked himself, wrapped his fingers around the base of the cock, pumping it as he sucked and licked on the head, and he soon began to bob his head, taking as much of it as he could. Sebastian
was moaning mess when the boy picked up the pace. His back arched so much that he was now sitting up, hands fisted into the young boy's hair.
I'm so...
He tried to warn, but was quickly interrupted when Ciel had stopped him and pulled away from the matter at hand, leaning closer to Sebastian. You sound like a wanton whore. Tell me, is this how demons act during sex? Sebastian turned from a moaning mess to a panting mess. He couldn't even sit up without having to support himself.
No, I'm the only demonic whore around.
He barely chuckled, yanking on Ciel's hair to stand him up, arms wrapped around Ciel's waist and pulling him into a heated kiss.
Their tongues dancing together as Sebastian pulled him onto the desk, then pinning him to it. What is it that you want me to do, love?
Sebastian asked, pulling away from the kiss. I can't.
I want.
Oh. I want.
Ciel panted, his smirk shrinking as embarrassment sunk in. I want you inside.
I want you inside me.
This only made the demon chuckle as he positioned both himself and the boy. And yet I'm the wanton whore. He didn't give Ciel any time to reply, nor adjust. He just thrusted into the boy harshly, making Ciel scream in both surprise and pain.
I can't do it. I can't do it.
Yes, you can.
No, I can't. Sebastian, stop! No!
An order's an order, and you said to fuck you senseless. Another thrust was made, burying himself in the boy.
I didn't mean it like that, you idiot!
He yanked on the raven's hair and pulled him into a passionate kiss, both parties moaning. A frown made of Ciel's face as Sebastian continued his pace. After a while, Ciel got used to it, till Sebastian hit a spot, making him scream once more, but in pleasure.
Sebastian, right there! Ah!
The demon smirked and abused of that spot, kissing the boy's weak spot.
Sebastian, I'm so...
He became a moaning mess, his back arcing as his climax reached him. After both had released themselves, they laid a few kisses upon each other.
Sebastian?
Yes, Ciel? Ciel yanked on Sebastian's hair, their foreheads touching.
You're not only my butler, you're also my demon. Understood?
I think a second round is needed for me to understand.
He chuckled, a grin upon his lips. As you wish.
The boy pinned him to the desk.
My whore. I say that.
So why do good girls like bad guys? I have this question for